What is going on? Welcome to episode 189 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. On this very special episode, I've got a player too. We're doing a little interview today. DJ from HalfFullReviews.com. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, it's good to be here.
Yeah, so glad
early Sunday morning.
Yeah, that it is. At least on the west side, it is. It's still not even 9 o'clock yet, so it's a little early. I'm still trying to get my first cup of coffee, cup of tea in me right now, but it's all good. I'm excited to chat. Before we do, guys, that music you just heard was from On Being Human. You can check them out on Spotify and YouTube. Remember, this is an unofficial Nintendo podcast, and if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, you can go to audibletrial.com/NPC. Pick up something awesome like Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. If you'd like to get yourself a gaming chair, you can go to n64josh.com/OPSeat. You'll automatically save $10 at checkout, and I believe all the chairs are $20 off right now, so that is a total savings of $30 off of a chair, which is a great deal. They're already I think they're the best price gaming chairs you can find, so highly recommend checking them out if you're in the market for a gaming chair. My book, Another Castle, is available. You can get it at n64josh.com/anothercastle. You can check out the first chapter for free. It is available as an ebook and an audiobook. And if you'd like to help support the content I create, you can go to patreon.com/n64josh. With that, we are going to jump right on to the announcements.
Hey, listen!
All right, so guys, in order to shorten this announcement section, if you head on over to n64josh.com/calendar, you can see my streaming schedule and our community game nights. All right, Fridays around 5 p.m. are the community game nights, and we have Mario Kart happening at Saturdays at 11 a.m. These are all Pacific Standard Time. You can check all the other stuff there, the Smash Tournament, all that stuff. It's all available, n64josh.com/calendar. And Tuesday's blog post for our questions is going to be up today, which is Sunday. I will have it up before the day is over. If you follow me on Twitter or if you're in the Discord, I'll make sure to tag everybody and tweet it out, and it'll be on Facebook and Reddit and everywhere. So that's and the focus of next week's kind of community question is going to be just kind of your guys' thoughts on Xbox Live possibly being on the Switch. I just want to hear from you guys on that. So that's going to do it for all the housekeeping. We're going to jump into our interview with DJ.
Here we go!
All right, so DJ.
Yes.
First, tell us a little bit about HalfFullReviews.com.
Well, that's my hobby project. Been going probably about 5 years now with it. I like to write. I just like to write anything really. Movie reviews, video game reviews. I got a couple other people who pitch in. Started doing TV reviews lately, but really just. I enjoy writing, I enjoy reading, and this is a way to create content and kind of put stuff out there on the internet, I guess. I got you.
And you guys do like a monthly podcast?
Yeah, we do. Very unofficial. It's hard to get my my brother to commit to time schedules with it because he's very busy. But we like to do a little podcasting too. I basically jack of all trades, master of none when it comes to content creation. I just kind of do a little bit of everything because I enjoy doing it, and that's why part of the reason it hasn't grown into something super successful yet, because when you're doing a little bit of everything and not focusing down on something, that's why it's a hobby of mine. So
gotcha. I know someone else like that yeah I do. Well, that's cool, man. Well, let's get into your history with Nintendo. Where did it all start?
Well, for me, I was a 90s kid, so started with the Game Boy Pocket, I believe, and the Nintendo 64 were the first consoles I owned, but I played on some over at friends' houses and stuff before that, like the Super Nintendo and things like that. But the Game Boy is really where it all started for me. Those old Pokemon games, the old, I don't know if it was Donkey Kong, but he's up at the top, and Mario, not Mario, but the Mario guy's jumping up, and he's throwing barrels down, and you have to get to the top of the ladders and stuff. It's a really famous game, and now I sound terrible not remembering what the name is.
Donkey Kong?
Is that what it is? Is it the original one?
Yeah, are you talking?
Where he's at top and he's throwing down barrels, and you have to climb the ladders and you get the little hammers.
Yeah, that's Donkey Kong.
Oh, that was one of my first games too. So
Well, there you go. Right on. Very cool. I mean, the first time Mario ever was in a game. So
I know I heard somewhere, read somewhere that it's not actually Mario. It was called something else, and
Yeah.
now they've kind of like retconned it to be Mario.
So his original name was Mr. Video, and then Jumpman, and then the warehouse where all the cabinets were stored, the landlord was named Mario Segali. He just passed away last year. Rest in peace. And that's how Mario got his name. So
I knew him as Jumpman. That's what I'd originally heard.
yeah, yep. So well, that's great. That's great. I wanna talk about this for a second because I was actually having dinner with my younger brother last night, and he's 8 years younger than me, and so he was born in '89. All right, and so I kind of asked him, I'm like, because I'm of the mind, and anybody's welcome to disagree with me on this, and I haven't really like fleshed it out, but like I'm of the mind that my generation, like in the 80s, I feel like is more nostalgia driven than any other generation, because I feel like it was at that time period when like all cartoons were just commercials for shows, right? Like Nintendo was in its early phases, Disney was still super popular, things like that. And I mean, to this day, I mean, look, I'm wearing Mario on my hat. I've got a Nintendo 64 shirt on.
Right.
And I was talking to him about, and he's like, yeah, none of that. Like, he goes, what I think he was telling me, like, if he hears, I think if he hears like Super Mario music, it kind of takes him back a little bit, but not much. Right. And so he said like seeing a 64 like logo or something like that, it kind of takes him back, but he's not. And obviously it's going to be person to person, that kind of thing. But
I think we're right on the cusp between 80s and 90s. So I'm 3 years older than my brother. I was born 90. He's 93.
Yeah.
And I'm really nostalgic for some things, the N64 era, but I'm not at all nostalgic for Mario. And he doesn't really have any of that either way. I mean, 3 years made the difference of, not being nostalgic for all those things that I kind of grew up on through the 90s.
So, like you said, you don't have much for nostalgia for Mario, right?
Although I think I missed that train with the NES and the SNES. I didn't play any of those. So I came in at the N64, and that was like super, like Mario 3D World, right? Where he's running around in 3D for the first time. Really famous game, right? One of the best ones.
Yeah, that I just beat last year.
Okay, yeah. So I remember seeing that, but I never owned it. I guess that's my parents' fault, not buying me a Mario game as a kid. So,
well, shame on them.
Shame on them. Yeah.
I never bought it either because I was playing GoldenEye and Mario Kart. So,
There you go, GoldenEye. Yeah, I played GoldenEye. I played Kirby. Was one of my first games. I drew something. The first one on 64. Love that game.
So, and here's what's kind of funny is like my nephews now. I have made a point to like, get them DSs, get them Mario games, get it to where like we went and hung out last Monday. They had a birthday party for one of them, and one of the little ones, I think he's like maybe 3. He could barely talk, right? And he's just destroying Legos, just literally setting traps for everybody to step on, right? And and I'm wearing my Mario hat, and I looked down at him. I'm like, Leo, who's on my hat? And I couldn't understand him. He just like mumbled something, and his mom could understand him. And she goes, "Oh, he said Mario Brothers." I was like, "Okay, all right, my nephews, I'm like, okay, you guys have got it. Like, I want to see them, like. I want to see them like Mario, like some kids like Mickey Mouse. You know what I mean? And so far, that's like one of my other nephews is like, I'm Mario for Halloween this year, and so. But I was going to ask you, like, do you feel like you have more nostalgia when you see something like Pokemon?
Oh yeah, a lot more for me. And actually, I wanted to jump in on that Mario thing. I'm big Pokemon fan, but my 2 sons, because I don't have Mario nostalgia, they do already. They're going to have it because they run around the house throwing their hats and pretending they're Mario. And throwing your hat is definitely going to be associated with the latest, Switch Mario version. So he'll throw his hat and be like, I'm Mario, and throw it at things and, pretend he's taking them over. Because they play it on Switch. But I didn't have a Mario game really at all as a kid. They do. So it's funny how it's going to like skip a generation and they're going to have that memory of playing Mario.
Yeah. So. Yeah. It's just something that I kind of, I don't know. I kind of like to think about periodically, and just, I'm interested in in nostalgia, because I mean, again, if I see Star Wars, Transformers, Voltron, like there's so many things that I can think about from my childhood, where like when I go to the older generations, like my dad, I'm like, what do you get nostalgic for? And he's like, I don't really know, like there's not a lot, so it's just interesting. And even talking with like my uncle, who's like 5 to 10 years younger than my dad, right? His brother. And he was like, 18 in 1986. So he was playing Atari and things like that. So he definitely has a little more of a pull to that stuff that was coming out in like 78 and things like that. But,
yeah,
what really kind of, what really kind of hurts my brain a little bit is it's literally, most of it's all tied to marketing.
Yeah.
It's really what it boils down to, marketing. I'm like, yep. Oh, great. I'm literally a, like, I am the way I am because of marketing. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. So you're saying the Pokemon, definitely much more. I
was right. Yeah, I was right around that age where when Pokemon first came out, is so many cool stories back then. So it was like late 90s, and I get my first version and my brother gets it and everyone's bringing it to school, and then all of a sudden the schools start sending home letters and saying, oh, Pokemon's bad for your kids and you shouldn't let them play it. And then parents are taking it from their kids and they're banning the cards from school, and you're hearing about kids punching their teachers. Like that whole era right there, that's when I was doing Pokemon.
Kids were punching their teachers? Tell me more.
I'm not even kidding. That was happening. The teachers would take the cards from the kids at school, and then there were reports of the kids getting upset and like hitting their teachers because they were angry that they took their cards. And then all of a sudden they start banning all trading cards from schools. And I don't know if that was just here in Florida, but man, that was going crazy. They literally sent home letters to our parents telling us that we shouldn't be doing Pokemon.
So that's the other thing too. My nephews all of a sudden are like collecting Pokemon cards now too. So like they've got kind of this, they've kind of got both things going, right? They're into the Mario stuff, but they're also like they're collecting Pokemon. I mean, he starts talking to me about like, what Pokemon cards do you have? And I'm like, oh man, I got very few, like, because I've got I literally have zero nostalgia, zero draw towards Pokemon. I mean, I'm excited to play the new game. I really enjoyed playing half of Let's Go Eevee, but
I think you would have been right in high school then when that time period, right? When it came out.
Yeah, I was.
So that's why.
I was. I think I've told this on here before, but I actually have I have to find them. I think they've got lost in a move. But the holographic Mewtwo from the first movie, the first movie, I had like 200 of those things. But,
wow.
But I think I lost them because I worked at a coffee shop in a movie theater and was friends with everybody there. I was like, hey, you guys have like boxes of those things. Can I have a bunch of them for eBay? And they're like, we don't care. And so
eBay,
I was gonna sit on them for a while, and then I think we lost them in the moves. But yeah, kind of, because I've looked up what those things can sell for. It's kind of disheartening. So I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Definitely.
So you've kind of mentioned Game Boy, 64. Are those kind of your favorite Nintendo consoles, or did the DS or the GameCube or anything like that ever take the top spot?
Actually played the Game Boy line all the way through the Advance, and then I fell off of video games for a little while there. And so my brother had the DS lines, and then as an adult, about maybe 6 or 7 years ago, actually, I came back to Nintendo a little bit. Because in between that, I was playing Xbox. You become a teenager, you're playing Xbox or PlayStation, whatever it is. Playing Halo, those are really big. So I didn't play a whole lot of Nintendo between probably like the ages of like 10 and 20. There just wasn't a lot of Nintendo in my life at that point. But I think my favorite system, to answer your question, is actually the 3DS. And the reason why is because you can play every single Pokemon game on the 3DS aside from Let's Go. You can play Red, Blue, and you can transfer them digitally, and you can play every single other game, all the generations, all on one system. It's the only system you can do that on.
You can play the Game Boy Advance games?
They have, let's see, for the digital eShop for $10, they have gold, silver, red, blue, yellow, right? And you can transfer those through the bank apps or the transfer apps.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have, let's see, they have black and white, diamond, pearl. The only one they might be missing is like Emerald, the Gen 3.
Okay.
Right?
The only reason I bring it up
but
is
Gen 3
because...
was remade.
Oh, I
so
see.
you can play the remakes of Gen 3, which are
Gotcha.
actually really close to it because they're not like too 3D yet. You know, they're not too far 3D like Let's Go is.
Right.
So they're actually really close. So you can play Gen 3 remade, and every other generation you actually play in its original state on the 3DS.
Huh. Well, that's cool. That's cool. I love, like, that's one of the things I love about like the Wii U. It is like a Zelda machine, right? It is like a Mario Kart machine. It's a Mario machine. Like there's and that's what's, I mean, I feel like that's kind of what's lacking with the Switch a little bit. But I think that once now that the NES Classic and the SNES Classic are done, I think E3 is going to be the time that we might see some kind of a virtual console announcement. But
I think so too. I'm hoping so anyways. I'd love to get a lot of those older games on Switch. I like it when they do that. I like them bringing all the games back digitally, whether they're free or they're inexpensive or whatever they do with them. So.
Well, and the beauty of the Switch is like I was showing off, I was streaming the Wii U earlier this week, and I pulled up Mario Kart DS on the Wii U. And
oh, nice.
You can set it up to play, like you could put it, they do like their own overlay where they put a DS on the screen, and then
oh, cool.
Then you see both screens that way, right? Or you can have the top screen kind of much larger and then the bottom screen just smaller. So there's really no reason that the Switch couldn't have every single system represented, and really be like the ultimate nostalgia machine for Nintendo. Now,
well, hopefully they do. You know, that'd be awesome.
I hope so. The thing that we were talking about in my chat, you know, because I was presenting this while we were chatting about it while I was streaming, but the one thing that I want to see happen as well is I love the NES Online, right? And like playing games multiplayer. I mean, I played a game of baseball with I think Quarter Beast is his name in the Discord, and so you know, so we've got tournaments going in the Discord with the old games. Well, I want to see that same treatment happen with Super Nintendo and things like that, and so I'm kind of torn on like how are they gonna do this? You know, will they add, like, I want to see more of these games get online. I want to be able to race Super Mario Kart against people online. You know, things like that. So
I think these two things are really what's big in the market right now: retro games, and then you have your highly competitive games like Fortnite and Apex Legends and things like that. I think companies are realizing that those are two giant money makers right now. So they're hitting on all that nostalgia, and they're, you know, because Xbox is doing it, PlayStation's going backwards on it, Nintendo's always kind of gone backwards on it, and they're kind of looping all these older people in, trying to get new people. But as far as new games go, the best ones, the biggest money makers are those free to play online ones, you know, where people battle each other. Anything that's free online like that's a huge money maker too. So I think they're kind of doubling down on both of these things right now.
Well, in my last or the two podcasts ago, I had a number of people comment that they want Duck Hunt 99, just like Tetris 99, where there's, you know, maybe a timer with X amount of ducks on the screen. Maybe Nintendo sells a zapper peripheral, and you just shoot for a minute or 2 minutes, right? And then whoever gets the most ducks wins, right? So could be. It could be
huge.
It could be really fun, you know.
They call it Duck Hunt Legends.
Yeah,
it'd be free on iPhone, Android, and
Duck Hunt.
That's the next big idea.
All right, we'll have. I'm sure Nintendo can send a check to somebody for that one. We'll
probably
see.
we need to cut it out until we tell them about it. Just chop that part of the podcast right out.
Yeah, probably. So, okay, well, we've kind of touched on this briefly, but like favorite games, favorite series. Obviously, I'm guessing Pokemon, but like, is there any particular game in that series that you really like?
So I really like all of them, obviously, being a huge Pokemon fan. The older, the better, in my opinion. But I think that's just nostalgia. So I go back and I play. I'm always playing a Pokemon game at all times. I'm playing through one of them on the 3DS. But I always make sure to go back and beat Red version or Blue version twice a year. So I definitely like the original Gen 1 there. Any other games I like outside of Pokemon are Star Wars. Anything Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, way bigger than a Pokemon.
Okay.
I've always been a big Star Wars fan.
I just did this week's my last vlog. I'm showing it on the camera right now. Was Super Empire Strikes Back on the old Super Nintendo. There,
That was a cool game.
toughest games I've ever completed.
One of my favorites was N64 era Shadows of the Empire.
Yes.
I have that sitting in my cabinet right now, and I have the original guidebook for it and everything. Loved that game. Played it over and over again.
The only thing I didn't do with that game was all the collectibles or whatever to get the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, I think I unlocked it with cheat codes. So
Funny.
I'm sure I beat the game regular as a kid, but we had the internet then, so we could go online and we'd print out a whole list of cheat codes, and half of them would work and half of them wouldn't, and plug them all in and unlock everything. So
I remember, I think, actually, thinking back, I'm pretty sure, and I forgot to mention this, I talked about this recently, but I thought GoldenEye and Mario Kart were the only two games I bought, but I opted, now that I'm thinking about it, I was looking at Mario 64 and Star Wars Shadows, was Shadows of the Empire, is that right?
yeah, Shadows of the Empire was with Dash Rendar.
Yeah, and I
then
grabbed that one instead.
Oh, that's a good one. Also, Rogue Squadron was big.
Oh, so good. So
Rogue
good.
Squadron.
I've mentioned this on this show many times, but if you get a chance, go back, look up IGN Nintendo voice chat. It's like episode 192, I think, or it's in the 190s, and they interview Julian Egbrecht is his name, and he was one of the heads of Factor 5. And he tells the stories of how they like reverse engineered the 64 and the GameCube and the Super Nintendo, and how they were able to essentially squeeze so much, like all the horsepower out of the system, sometimes even more than Nintendo was able to.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting stuff. So
I'll definitely put that on my list to listen to.
Yeah, it's a show that I can go back and listen to. I've gone back and listened to it a number of times just because it's so interesting listening to them talk about, like, because then they did the Battle for Naboo and things like that on the 64 as well.
And Episode 1 Racer, that was a big game. That was cool. That was on PC and N64.
I just saw on my Twitter feed today that somebody redid that game in the Unreal Engine.
Wow, that'd be cool.
And it looks crazy. It says available now, so I'm not sure if it's something they're just releasing for free. I'm assuming that's the case.
Probably.
So
I own it for Game Boy too. If you didn't know, they actually made a Rumble pack for the Game Boy.
That's right. Yeah, isn't it like top down?
Yeah, it's top down. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And when you move them, they make like little blocky movements. It almost looks like Minecraft. Oh, it's terrible.
What are some of your other? Well, then you didn't get to play the Rogue Squadron games on GameCube?
No, I didn't. I didn't even. Actually, I'm recalling that they had that now that you mention it, but I wouldn't have been able to tell you that.
Dude, do you have a Wii?
Yes, I do. Yep.
Okay, you have to get on eBay and get a copy of Rogue Squadron. I think it's Rogue Leader. I can't remember, but I believe it was a launch title for the GameCube. One of the best, like literally one of the best. It still holds up. Like it, yeah.
Well, I'll definitely hunt it down then.
Yeah, do that. Get on Amazon. Get the HDMI adapter, or that's probably the easiest. It's like $12, and then you can hook up your Wii HDMI, and it'll up-res your GameCube games to 480p at least, and so you'll get the best experience you can. Like it, man, you are gonna have such a blast. I'm not even kidding you. You're gonna love that.
I'm gonna get back to you on that after I play it. So I'll write a review on it. There we go.
You should, man. You should. Let me know. I'll tweet it out there for you because it's such a great game. Shellshock saying Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2. There you go. So they also made a third one where you actually get out of your you get out of your ship and walk around with your lightsaber and things like that. Not quite.
That sounds like a disaster. Yeah.
It wasn't quite as good, but it was still good. Like there were still parts of it that were really good.
That reminds me of the Star Fox ones when they first let Star Fox get out of his ship and run around on the ground and drive tanks and stuff.
Yeah. Well, what was that? 64, right? Kind of like you could do a hologram of yourself, or else drive a tank, or.
No, Star Fox 64. I don't think you got out at all. I thought that was like one of the best ones, right?
You didn't like get out.
It must have been GameCube.
But
got out.
But the I think in multiplayer there was a version where you could play as a hologram of the character, but I could be mistaken. Like it's been a while since I've messed with it. So, but yeah. So then, like we're gonna stay on the Star Wars kick for a little bit here. Did you play any of the like Jedi Academy games?
I literally own them all.
Okay,
I have them all right now. Yes,
that's good because you said you went to Xbox, right?
Yeah, but I played them all PC. So
okay,
that was back when I was playing like Age of Empires on the PC.
Yeah.
And they had a Star Wars version of that called Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, and then they had Jedi Knight, Dark Forces, and Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2. Yeah, that was the first one that they became a Jedi, Kyle Katarn, and then they did Outcast. They did another one, Mysteries of the Sith, which isn't really well known, and then they jumped into, I think, Academy or something.
I played Academy on Xbox because it had the online, and man, that game was so much fun.
They still have online servers you can go play that on actually for PC.
Oh, I see.
There's a whole community around it.
That makes sense. They actually just released that game for free on the Xbox One, but there's no online for it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because it's an original Xbox title, so
it's better to play offline anyways. The single player campaign is really where that the game was its best.
Oh, see, I mean I loved that, but I loved the death match with the all the force powers
grip people and shake them around, so they can't get out of it because they have to force push to break it. And if you shake them around, their whole screen's going nuts.
Yes, it was the best. So that was such a bummer because I mean I had the GameCube and it had a lot of these same games, but they weren't. You couldn't play them online. There was no online for it. So
I caught all those on Xbox as well, but I was always a big PC gamer. I played Star Wars Galaxies. That's a big one. The first MMO for them.
That's cool. All right. Well, let's we're gonna get back to Nintendo now. I know. But what's one of your favorite Nintendo memories?
And
it could be like a Christmas present or something, anything like that.
That was it, a birthday present. I got that Kirby game for N64. I remember that's all I wanted for my birthday that year, and they got it for me, and I just played straight through and beat it. I can't for the life of me remember what it is. I'm gonna have to hunt it down now because my 5-year-old's a huge Kirby fan. I have a little plush and he carries it around, but he likes Kirby from Smash Bros. That's where he knows him from. And then he picked him up on the Switch game, and he's like, "What?" So.
Do you have All Stars or whatever, or isn't that what it's called, Kirby All-Star Alliance or something like that? Do you have the
I don't. I had the demo installed on my Switch. He likes to play it at like Target and stuff because they keep all the demos there.
Oh,
so.
I got you.
We really try not to let our kids play video games at home for the most part, because they're so young. We want them to do a lot of other things, which is going to sound weird because I'm such a big video gamer, right? But they don't have their own game systems. We don't put iPads in front of them. We're very play outside, play with each other. That's why we have 2 of you. That kind of thing. And we're saving video games
so that you would play together.
Exactly. We gave you a brother, go play with him. We're actually planning to do some more traveling coming up soon, like outside the States. So when we do that, we're thinking that's going to be a good time to give them handheld, games, because they'll be new to them. They'll be excited for it. Yeah. Keep them entertained for their long flights and stuff.
There you go. Maybe by then that new smaller, affordable Switch will be available too.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Fingers crossed, right? So okay, so what's a Nintendo game that you've mentioned a couple that you haven't played or completed that we're all going to judge you for?
This is a big one, man. The best-selling, most famous game, right? Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I love that game. I do. I think it's terrific.
And you don't have this game?
Oh, I have it, but I played up until the first beast, And I was just like, I rushed it. I'm not powerful enough. Now I'm stuck in this room. I don't know what to do. And I just put it down and just never went back. So I feel terrible because it's, everyone loves that game and I enjoyed it. I need to go back. So.
Okay. It's Sunday. You don't have anything else to do. I'm telling you that right now. All you need to do is finish Breath of the Wild.
I'm gonna pick it up. I'm just gonna restart it from scratch and take my time with it and really enjoy it.
You can leave that room. They'll let you leave.
Probably go jump off the top, but then you have to run around. It's been so long, you kind of get disconnected from what you were doing, so you don't really know where you've been. Everything's respawning. You freeze to death everywhere. I'm chowing down on hot peppers and I can't figure out how to cook anything. I really just need to start from scratch. I'm telling you.
I just hope you're feeling the judgment. That's all.
I'm feeling it.
Okay.
It's embarrassing.
Okay.
Probably blushing.
Good. There you go. So. All right. Well, we've kind of talked a little bit about your site. You do review some video games, so you've got some reviews for some different Switch titles and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like a retro review maybe on its way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's halffullreviews.com if you guys want to check it out. I do have a link in the show notes here. And then I also like to ask for people that do create some content and things like that. What kind of advice could you give for someone wanting to start creating their own Nintendo content?
Okay, so I want to talk myself up here for a second because I talked myself down. Now, when it comes to content creation, before I give advice, I actually do content creation every day for a living. Half Full Reviews, and I was saying how it doesn't reach as many people as it could. And that's because I don't put enough time into it because I have so many other things going on. But regular content is key. So I create content for companies for a living. I sell blogs and do social media and all of that. So I have content going out all the time, and I have other people helping me create the content. So when it comes to getting out there and growing, my biggest client has 60,000 followers on Facebook. And they're a big magazine. So now stepping back to Half Full Reviews, I just like to let people know before I give advice. It's like Half Full Reviews only has a few hundred followers, the reason why is because I'm not regular with my content. That's what I'm getting at. You have to be like you are. You're always putting out content. You're a content machine and you're dedicated to getting that content out, whether it be podcasts, blog articles, being active on social media. The more you do that and the more regular you are, the more successful you'll be. And podcasts are really key to that too for making money. You kind of have to get your name out there and get in front of people. And if that's why for me, Half Full Reviews is a hobby. I started that because I used to write articles for Yahoo. And they had a contributor network that you could actually write for, and they'd buy articles off people. Well, they ended up shutting it down. I lost all my work. So the whole archive, everything I'd ever written was gone. And I was like, great. That doesn't feel good. So I started my own website, became Half Full Reviews. And that's why I do it, because I love to write and I love to create content as a hobby. And that's how Half Full Reviews came about.
Gotcha. So it sounds like the consistency is...
Consistency is key in keeping up on what's going on. So, if you got to be trendy, you got to use your hashtags, you got to see what's going else, what else is going on the internet, and target everywhere. So you can use Facebook and Twitter, LinkedIn, just do it all. Don't limit yourself just to Twitter, because I know lots of video game community and lots of pop culture, lots of guys who like cars and fishing, they kind of focus to Twitter and they don't kind of steer clear of Facebook. And lots of content creators I see that run podcasts, tons of them in the Nintendo community and the Pokemon communities, they steer clear of Facebook. That's a huge tool. Facebook is literally the number one place to put your content. It's better than Instagram. It's better than Twitter. You can link people directly to where you want them. You're going to hit millions of more people on Facebook than you will anywhere else, but also putting it on Twitter and Instagram. You really need to be putting it everywhere, creating as many backlinks to you as possible. And then, so creating the content, sharing the content, and getting in front of people. You just have to be consistent and work at it, which is something you do really well.
Oh, I feel like there's always ways to improve. So one of the things that I'll bring up here, as far as like with social media, is the consistency is definitely key, but also even just using social media the way I feel it's designed to be used, right? To be social. right? So often you see creators that, and sometimes I'm guilty of this, that their content is more self-serving than serving those that could consume it, right? So it's, look at this post, look that I'm live on Twitch, look at my YouTube video, right? Versus like putting out something that's going to add value to those people that follow you, like asking questions and getting conversations started and jumping into conversations and replying to people that tweet at you. Now, I know firsthand that I would spend all day. Like, there's no way for me to reply to everybody, right? I can't. So a lot of times I'll try to do Instagram, I'll try to do some on Twitter. Facebook I'm terrible at. Like, I'll try to at least jump in and like stuff. But I think the big takeaway is try to put out content even on your social media that isn't self-serving, but serving those that follow.
I love that point. I haven't thought of the word self-serving when I talk to people about that, but when I talk to companies about that, that's actually, I give them that same point you just brought up. So you can't always be trying to sell someone something or show them something you're doing. So, you have to mix it up all week long. You should be putting out a post of something that's funny, is a good strategy, because funny always does well. But that's not a secret. So you put out one day a week is something funny. It's a meme. It's something just comical to get people to share it and like it. Another day is something, maybe a poll or something people can comment on, maybe a competition or a contest or something. And then another day is some content you created for free that they can enjoy and read or listen to. And another day you try to sell them something. You have to use a good mix. You always want to make sure you're utilizing the social media and your content to make money. If that's your goal, to make money, then you need to make sure that you are directing people with call to actions to get them to spend money, to get them to donate money, to get them to do whatever your goal is for them. But you also have to serve them with all these other days out of the week. You need to be giving them something that they enjoy, something they think is funny, something they can read while they're on the toilet, whatever. But yeah, having a good, healthy mix, and that's where the consistency is. You can't just consistently put out the same thing consistently put out stuff that people are interested in.
Yeah, otherwise you just become noise,
It's content marketing. That's what it is. You have social media marketing, which is, using hashtags and giving competitions away and trying to interact with people. And then you have content marketing, which is more like blogging and podcasting and things like that. And they really work together really well. But content marketing that's literally one of the things I sell to companies. They produce their own content. It shows that they're an expert in the field. So like a place that sells cars, they might want to put out car articles on car buying tips and stuff like that. Draws people in because they can get this free content and learn tips on negotiating for cars or tips on which cars are the best to buy secondhand. And now that they're at your site, now you can sell them something. And that's content marketing.
There you go. So all you guys wanting to get out there and get your get some Nintendo content or gaming content or whatever you're passionate about, try to focus on not being entirely self-serving, and you'll have far greater success. So, especially since a lot of the social media sites want you to pay in order to get your content in front of people,
And they reward you for interacting with people. If you're commenting and they're commenting, showing their friends that they're commenting, and you can try your best to get it in front of people, but they really started locking down on that. They have a focus on serving people, which sounds silly, serving people in business, over businesses a little bit. So they put those paywalls to get you to access people. But if you do what we said there, and you serve people and interact with those people and build relationships through social media, you'll reach far more people than you will spending $25 for an ad.
There you go. Well, DJ, this has been fun. We're gonna wrap this thing up here.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, DJ, where can people find you?
You can find me in Josh's Discord. I go by Jedi DJ there, but anywhere on the internet is Half Full Reviews, so I'm everywhere.
I like it. halffullreviews.com is the site to go check out. And then is the podcast the same name?
It's the Half Full Gaming Podcast, but it's not nearly as good as yours. And then Half Full Marketing is my marketing business. I'm kind of like a half full brand.
I got you. That's cool. Don't sell yourself short with your podcast. You got this. You got it out there. You know,
People are gonna go listen to it and be like, "This is not nearly as good as."
Oh gosh. Well, go check it out anyway, guys. Go make sure to go check it out. So, thanks again, my friend. I do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, all the places at N64Josh. And you know what? I so much appreciate everybody that follows, that tweets at me, that comments on Instagram, that comments on YouTube videos, guys. It means so much to me. All of those comments help more people get. They help my content get in front of more people. And so thank you so much. If I don't get to something, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's just because I literally don't have the time sometimes. So I just want to make sure that you know how much I appreciate it, and I will do my best. All right. So thank you for that. And guys, you can follow the show at NPowercast. The show notes for this episode, where you can see the links to DJ's site, n64josh.com/NPC 189. We're getting close to 200. This is crazy. It's crazy. If you want to email the show, you got questions, comments, maybe you're an indie developer that you want me to check out your game, something like that, npc@n64josh.com. If you want to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC. Pick up something awesome like Blood, Sweat, and Pixels or Ready Player One. The chair I'm sitting in from OPC, you go to n64josh.com/OPC. You automatically save $10 at checkout, and right now the chairs are $20 off, so don't miss that sale. It's a really, really good value. My content, if you want to help support it, patreon.com/N64Josh. Just $1 gets you an extra podcast. There's other tiers available as well. And then, of course, like DJ mentioned, if you want to join the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. That's your invite. Come hang out with us. Lots of great people playing lots of different games. We do have the Facebook group, n64josh.com/Facebook group. If that's where you like to hang out online, go hang out. We're close to 100 people on there, so we'd love to have you. Lastly, if you can rate and review on iTunes, we greatly appreciate it. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye now.
Is that it? Do we cut it?